Hey guys, Moniz here, and I've teamed up with Dell Small Business to talk about whether or not the Dell Precision 5520 has what it takes to run my small business. Now, whenever I look for a brand new laptop, I look at a few different criterias. The first one is it small and portable enough that I can pretty much bring it everywhere? Does it have enough power that I can edit 4K video? Does it have pretty good battery life? And is the display good enough to be color accurate in order to color correct my footage? Along with portability is having the right amount of I/O. On this device, you have two USB ports, so that allows me to hook up an external mouse and an external hard drive. I have an SD card slot so I can transfer my footage from my camera to the computer. I have an HDMI cable in case I need to do a presentation or hook it up to an external display. And most importantly, I have a USB Type-C Thunderbolt 3 port. This port is very special because it allows me to hook it up to an external GPU when I'm back at the studio to get extra horsepower. It also allows me to hook up a dock where I can run a monitor, maybe a couple more devices, giving me more flexibility overall. The best part about it is it's one cable. I pretty much just disconnect the cable, take my laptop, and I'm back on the road. So since we're on the topic of portability, we also have to talk about expandability because a lot of portable laptops really limit the things you can upgrade inside. Now, the CPU and GPU are both soldered onto the motherboard. That's pretty standard for most laptops these days. But what you can upgrade is the SSD and the RAM. Now, the SSD here is really fast, so I can't see myself upgrading it anytime soon, but let's say I want a bigger one down the road, at least I have that option. Same holds true for the RAM. I happen to have this configuration at its maximum, which is 32 gigabytes, but if you're someone who only needs 16, but let's say 2 years down the road you want 32, you have the ability to do that yourself. The next criteria is performance, and probably the most important function for me. It needs to be powerful enough to edit video and render with respectable times. Inside of here, you have a powerful i7 7820HQ processor. But the cool thing about the Precision line is you can go all the way up to a Xeon processor, which you can't do on your general consumer laptop. Now, there is a Quadro card in here. And that's probably the biggest topic of concern for most video creators. Do you actually need a Quadro card? Now, for me personally, I think a GTX or a GeForce GTX card makes a lot more sense, but you do get some fantastic benefits with the Quadro card. First and foremost, if you're editing 10-bit footage, you can only do it with a Quadro card. It's not supported by a regular GTX card. Second, you get better driver support. So if you're using Adobe Premiere or SolidWorks or AutoCAD, drivers have been tested specifically for these applications to work flawlessly. And the third thing is also support in general. So if you call Dell or if you call Adobe, you have a problem between, let's say, the software and your computer, they're gonna take you a lot more seriously than a regular consumer laptop. So there are some great benefits to this. Now it's time to talk about the third criteria, and that's the display. And hands down, the Dell Precision 5520 has the exact same 4K IGZO panel that's in the Dell XPS 15. So not only do you get a beautiful bezel-less display, which looks absolutely gorgeous to look at, you also get fantastic color accuracy. You have great brightness, you're over 100% sRGB, and you have a really high Adobe RGB. So whether you're editing video or if you're doing Photoshop, this display is gonna be able to handle it all. And finally, we have battery life. Now, I don't expect this laptop to last me 10 to 12 hours. Whenever you buy a laptop with an H-series processor, you're giving up battery life for more performance. I'm getting about 4 to 5 hours of use before needing to charge. And that's doing standard things like browsing the web, checking my email, doing productivity tasks in Microsoft Office, simple things like that. If I was to use this just to edit video, I'm probably only gonna get about 2 to 3 hours, and that's because the processor has to use a lot more energy. Basically, I just want it to last long enough to allow me to do work between the times I'm going from one outlet to the next. Now, before I wrap this up, a couple of things. The keyboard is the exact same keyboard on the XPS 15, so about 1.3 millimeters of travel distance, a very comfortable typing experience. The touchpad, hands down my favorite on a Windows laptop. It's so precise, it's accurate, and the gestures work wonderfully. So here's my closing thoughts. The Dell Precision 5520 definitely has what it takes to run my business. Whether I'm at the studio or I'm on the road, there's enough power to get my work done. Now, if you're an aspiring video creator and you're looking at the Dell Precision line, take a look at the Dell XPS 15 instead, just because I think you'll benefit more from the GeForce GTX card. I think it offers slightly more performance. But if you're into AutoCAD, SolidWorks, heavy After Effects, any sort of 3D rendering, Get the Precision instead, especially the new 5530. The 6-core processors with the P-series Quadro card is so powerful that you'll be able to fly through all of your work. So let me know what you guys think of the Dell Precision 5520 in the comments below. Do you think it has what it takes to run your business, and why? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.